everyone, and welcome to another Share Your Story. I'm very excited today because not only do we meet a brand new author who hasn't been on the show before, but it's also a book birthday. And you know how much I love book birthdays. Welcome, Kelly. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, this is so exciting. Tell me a little bit about where you got the idea for your new book.
I unfortunately lost my sister. She was a young mother at the time. Yeah, thank you. It's been a while now, so we were able to process it, but it was still difficult. And at the time, she had 4 small children. She was about 38. So from the time of her diagnosis to the time of her passing, it was a very short time. So just having conversations with her and her strength in palliative care and how she got through it inspired me to write something for her. So the book is actually dedicated to her. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. And it must have been a journey for you. What was your favorite part about doing a book that had come from such a raw and deep emotional start?
I think for me the favorite part is to hopefully help families or kids along the way. So obviously at the time she was an auntie to my children and they were quite little, and because it was such a whirlwind for us, it was really difficult for me to explain what was happening. So I thought that at the time it would have been great to have a book where it covered a happy place essentially, instead of so much doom and gloom, because as adults we were struggling with it, and it was really hard to articulate what was actually happening in our family. So I wanted to write a book that I guess communicated with children but not scared them. And I'm hoping that's what I've done. I've had a lot of positive feedback from families that have gone through it as well. And I think unless you've gone through it, it's probably hard to understand where I'm coming from in the book. And like I said, I didn't really put much in the book that would scare children. You can read it to a school full of kids that never have gone through anything like this and still be able to enjoy the book. So it was a fine line, but I'm hoping I've mastered that with the book for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I think books are amazing tools to use for kids, not only for education, but for grief and for learning disabilities, lots of things that they're an age appropriate way that you can connect with them on a level that they are going to be able to process the information. So I think it's very brave of you, but it sounds like this is something that was a bit of a team effort.
It certainly was, yes. I can't thank my illustrator, Sandanika. So I sourced an illustrator. It was difficult because I had a vision how I wanted it to be, and it had to be soft, I guess. And I gave her a brief, and she was so easy to work with and so understanding with it, because it's such a topic for myself, a very personal one, as opposed to my first book, that it was hard for me to articulate what I wanted, but she knew exactly what I wanted. And in-house were fantastic. I'll have to mention Paul and Lauren. They've been lovely and really accommodating, really helpful. So it's been a journey. It definitely learned and have a huge appreciation for books, more than I ever did. And it took me writing to actually understand the process that goes through it and the work. And yeah, it's been a real learning curve for me, but it's been a fun one for sure. Yeah.
Beautiful. Have you got a copy of the book there that you can show us the illustration?
Yeah, I do. So that's the front cover.
Oh my goodness. They're gorgeous. And you said you had a vision that you wanted the illustrations to look a certain way. Did she meet that vision? Can you give us an example of one of the illustrations?
Yeah, she certainly did. So I'll give you probably my favourite page is this one. So this was just a conversation I had with my sister when she was unwell. We sort of took it in turns as a family to stay with her. We didn't want her to sort of be alone at any stage through the last weeks. And one morning she got up feeling great and she had some breakfast. So I've popped that in the book. And obviously we've kind of put that, there's a hospital here And, you know, I guess you could say that's me and her in the book. I wish it was fairy bread at the time, but no, that's just, yeah. So she really put a lot of detail in the book. And another little trick we did is this character here, we've named Hope, and Hope's all the way through the book. So kids can find Hope, through the book, and it makes it a little bit more interactive. So, yeah.
That's amazing. That's so special. It's one of those things that, because I haven't been through that, I can only imagine how difficult it is. And when I wrote My Brother Tom, that was when I was sitting next to Tom in a humidity crib because he was born at 28 weeks, and there's this cathartic sort of process that you can go through from sharing a story and telling a story. Mm-hmm. How long did it take you until you felt that you were able to do that? Were you already thinking about it at the time, or is it something that came after, like finding the words from a situation that was just so deeply personal and painful? How did you actually manifest that into something that's so beautiful and full of hope?
It's taken a while. So this happened, I think it was around 2013 to her passing. It's taken a long time to write something that was so deep, but I think also it's helped me. And because when you lose someone, you have a lot of regrets, and you have a lot of I guess memories, and and I wanted to kind of honour her in a book as well. So I'm hoping I've done that with just conversations, and I'm hoping that her kids will have something to give to their kids, and one day, even if it's on a bookshelf in their house. So hopefully, I know sometimes I think she helped me write it as well. When I write, I did not get writer's block with this one. I just wrote. So, and that's it was finished. So, yeah, sometimes I think she was like telling me what to write.
I love that. Oh, yeah, my God.
So if you knew her, you would have, she was, a big personality. So, yeah, I think she would have been the one telling me what to write, and I didn't hesitate, and everything. It was barely edited, to be honest, from the time I've written, the time it's on the shelf. So, yeah.
It's such a beautiful legacy, and you're already an author coming into this. So have you got a place that you go to be creative, or is this what you've been through with your sister, has it changed how you see the role of books or your role as an author?
I think so. So I originally wrote Wonderful Wishes 11, 12 years ago, which is my first book, and then I put that away and brought it out again recently and rechanged it and fixed it all up, and that's doing really well. So that's my rhyming. So I love rhyming. This book's completely different. This is a story, and it's really hard to rhyme with something so delicate. So if you like my first book, this book completely different. My third book will be back to my rhyming, but this one, because it's such a touching topic, I wanted to do it as a story. Definitely.
Yeah, I absolutely agree that, you have to honour the story. So you have certain ways that you love being creative, but at the end of the day, you need to give each individual story the love and care and attention that it needs, because it's different. And sometimes it's hard as a creative to kind of find that balance with even books that are picture books, and then you think, oh, actually, this is a longer book. Like it's so tricky to kind of assess all of that in your head and still remain true to your beautiful creative soul. So have you always just expressed yourself with words? Like, is it something you've always wanted to do? What did you want to be when you grew up?
Yeah, so I wanted to be a veterinary nurse, which I did do, and then I changed that. I wanted to do something in behind the scenes with video, so I did that. I worked at ABC for a little bit, and but to be honest, I think I always wanted to be a writer, because I've found things recently when I've been tidying up the cupboards, doing a spring clean, and there've been poetry and books I'd written when I was in grade 5, and I'm at my happiest when I'm doing it. So I feel comfortable, and I can't, with other jobs I've had, I've been taught how to do it, but I feel like with this one I thrive doing it. So I really love doing it. So and I've always written, I find I can articulate things better when I write it, even if I'm needing to talk to someone about an issue. I find it better if I write it. So I think, yeah, for sure, I think writing's always something I've wanted to do, and it's only recently that I've been able to do it because I've sent them all to school. So
and I was just talking with someone else about this as well, and I don't know if you agree, but I think a lot of people say, oh, I wish I'd started sooner, or I wish I'd done it sooner, but I wasn't the right person to do it. Like, I had to go through all of that life to be able to get to a point now where I can understand the value of words and have my boundaries and go, yes, I'll negotiate on this, and no, I won't negotiate on that, and have all of those kind of stories build up in me so much that I couldn't help that they just kind of came out. So I love that you've been on this beautiful life journey, and words have always been with you. Words have always been, and now you've come full circle with that. So what do you think now, as the amazing author that you are, what's the best part about what you do now?
Yeah, for sure. I love reading to the kids, and I know that's it. Probably 1,000 people will say that to you, but it is my favourite thing, because that not only do I get hugs on the way out of reading, I'll get kids ask if they can take me home.
Oh,
I love it so much, and I'll get and they're 3 to 4 year olds, and they're just gorgeous, and they're honest as well. So,
oh my gosh, the word honesty was in my head. Like, seriously, you have to have a thick skin. If you're going into that kindy and they do not like your book, they will tell you, they will get up, they will turn around, they'll go and do something else.
Exactly right. So, and that's another, I guess, thing that, you know, if you are an upcoming, it's probably one of your questions you're going to ask me, but my advice for authors is to try and get in front of your target audience, because they're honest and they're the ones you're reading for. There's going to be adults that probably would read it and go, but if you put it in front of a child and they're listening and they sit there until the end of the story, you know you've got something. So I think if you can get, and I even say that without having the illustrations, if you can do it with just, I'm lucky because I've got nieces and nephews and my 5-year-old who's 6 today. I can sort of test it on them with my manuscript. So I don't usually have a picture in front of him. I'll make him sit down and I'll say, listen to Mummy's book, see what you think. And he'll tell me, he'll say, oh, or I can just
gorgeous little tax deductions, aren't they?
Yeah. No, but he's honest. So he'll either get up and run off and I'll go, oh, okay, that needs work. Or he'll sit there and listen. So, yeah.
I think that's so important. And I think a lot of people on the publishing journey or the pathway to publication, I think they forget that. I think they get caught up in thinking that they have to write a book that an adult is going to say yes to. You know what I mean? Like, they go, oh, well, it has to be something that publishers are going to like, or it has to be something that librarians or booksellers or all of that. At the end of the day, there is one person who needs to love your book, because that book has the potential to change that little person's life. So I love that that is your main focus, because I think that is just so important. And, you know, especially with the type of books that you're now writing, like the type of books that you write have got this amazing way of building children's imagination and showing them that there is more out there than what they see. And that's a really difficult concept for these little 3 and 4 year olds. So the fact that you can do that in a way that they get instantly, I think it's just a credit to you as a writer. I think it's amazing. So if I can be a bit cheeky, what's next?
Oh, okay. So I have one called Cheese on Toast. Well, we're trying to get the title.
I already love Cheese on Toast.
Yes, and it's because I've raised 4 boys and I've had.
Over here, I've got 3 boys.
Yes,
well, 4 if you count my husband.
Yeah, I say that too. No, you'd understand how sometimes you get to the dinner table and they do not want to eat anything you've put on the table. So I've got a rhyming thing going on that it sort of says, I don't want my cheese on, I don't want my roast, I want my cheese on toast, but I won't get into it too much. So it's
my God, I need this book. Yes. I need you to write this book right
nearly now. Done. I thought I'll launch this one, and then I haven't stopped this year. It's been a crazy year for me, but a fun one. So so
that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, again, honoring the story. And I'm already sold on cheese on toast. I want to interview you when it comes out. I just think, as a boy mama, and not just a boy mama, I have got neurodivergent autistic kids who will only eat certain foods.
Yes.
We need this book. I'm so excited.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time and sharing your beautiful new book with me. I am honored that you shared the story of your sister with me. Know that I am just in the deepest sympathy with you and your family, and the fact that something so beautiful and so hopeful has come out of this situation is an absolute testament to you as a person and as a beautiful writer. So thank you. I really appreciate you sharing that story with us. If people want to get in contact with you, get a copy of the book, where's the best place that they can do that?
Currently my website's probably the best place. It's kljbooks.com. So
I'll pop that in a link in the comments. So if you wanted to get in contact with Kelly, make sure you contact her for getting a copy of any of her books, for kindy visits, or even just to talk to her about her journey. Please get in contact with her. And if you would like to hear some more interviews with amazing, aspiring and established writers, please like, subscribe and share on the Share Your Story YouTube. And we will see you again for another Meet the Author. Thanks, Kelly.
No worries. Thank you very much.